Hello and thanks for joining us on Perspectives in Politics. I am Oge Ihimekpen. Efforts by May opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP) to put its house in order ahead of the presidential election next year appear to have yielded fruits after two warring camps of presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and the governor of Rivers State Nyesom Wike met again in Port Harcourt last Friday, with Wike's camp conceding to two concessions. The first is that Wike will remain in the PDP and not move to another party, no matter the level of his dissatisfaction within the fold. The group also agreed to join the presidential campaign of the party, even though Wike may not emerge as the director general of the campaign team for Atiku. What seems to be a difficult choice before Atiku and the PDP is the push for Wike's camp insisting on the resignation of the PDP national chairman Iyorchia Ayu to pave way for a southern candidate and balance of power within the party. Wike's affection for PDP seems to have diminished after a heartbreaking defeat to Atiku at the presidential primary in Abuja, and his displeasure may have been aggravated with the outcome of the vice presidency of the party. Against recommendations from the party, Atiku looked beyond the strongman from Rivers State who came second in the presidential primary that sealed his victory and settled for a less fancied running mate in the governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa. With these two disappointments, Wike and his group have not hidden their anger towards Atiku and the PDP, and from his camp has come subtle threats to dump the party with the likelihood of swinging victory elsewhere. Wike's newfound love and romance with the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) enough to unsettle the minds of many in PDP may have forced interest groups within the party to bring both Atiku and Wike to a negotiation table. Wike currently sits on a gold mine of roughly 2 million votes in Rivers State, with more than half of them potential supporters of PDP, even though there is a growing wave of support for the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, that could potentially douse Wike's influence in the state. As a serving governor, Wike's influence enough to do damage to PDP remains intact, and it might be unwise for the PDP to call his blues on the eve of election. But the big question is whether or not the PDP and Atiku can bow to accept Wike's last wish for his to sacrifice his current national chairman with barely 6 months to the election. Former presidential candidate and Nigerian professor of political economy and management Patrick Utomi and a former deputy governor of Kogi State Philip Salau have called on Nigerians across the country to vote for a credible candidate in the 2023 election. They spoke at the public presentation of a book titled The Blueprint for National Retrieval Project, written by Eda Ejodame Emmanuel. Salau represented a former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, at the program. The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations says it is working with over 70 organizations to find ways of consolidating the unity of the country through a national summit ahead of the 2023 general elections. The institute said this during a 7-kilometer walk to flag off its Citizen Summit on National Integration.
We are doing this walk, which we call integration walk, to herald the arrival of the summit, to herald the revival of Nigeria, to walk towards a new Nigeria. And we are walking towards a more integrated Nigeria, a more cohesive Nigeria, that Nigeria that we used to know, in which tribe, ethnicity, religion, place of origin did not have any negative bearing on any one of us.
Nigerian government says it remains committed to improving the lives of the Nigerian child. Minister of Health Usagi Yanire said this during the launch of a rotavirus vaccine in Nigeria and the flag-off of the 2022 African Vaccination Week 2022.
So approximately 1 in every 2 kids in Nigeria has diarrhea because of the rotavirus. So imagine what this really means. That means if we're able to get all of our kids vaccinated with this vaccine, then we will see a drastic reduction in the number of children that have diarrhea or die from diarrhea.
This rotavirus vaccine will be administered to children in accordance with the national immunization schedule.
That's the package for today. Join us same time tomorrow for more. I am Ogie Ihimekme.